Caleb started saving money in a cookie jar. He started with $25 and he adds 10 to the cookie jar each week. Write an equation where W is the number of weeks that he saves and T is the total amount. So he starts with 25 and he adds 10 each week to get him to the total. You might also write it as T equals 10W plus 25. Those are both the same equation. They're just written in a different order. We want to figure out which is the independent and the dependent. And by putting them in the correct row or column, we've identified which one is independent and which one is dependent. Then we're going to graph it and we're going to represent W being less than 6 weeks. So that's 0 through 5. He starts out with $25 already, and he adds 10 each week. So 25 plus 10 is 35. 35 plus 10 is 45, 55, 65, and 75. The independent variable goes on the x-axis, and the dependent variable goes on the y-axis. So in order to keep our scales the same, we can't just jump to 25 and then start counting by tens, because that would be two different steps. We could count by tens the whole way. It won't quite get us to 75, so we might want to count by something bigger. Maybe we're going to count by 25s the whole way. You can kind of choose. 25s might be too big, so let's try 10s instead. That's going to fit most of our data, but it's probably going to leave out those last two. So now we need to graph our points. 0 weeks starts at 25, which is in between 20 and 30. 1 week is at 35, which is in between 30 and 40. 2 weeks is at 45. 3 weeks is at 55. And then 4 weeks would be at 65, which starts to go off of our graph. And we draw an arrow through our points. Number 2. Kevin is taking a taxi from the airport to his home. There's a $6 flat fee for riding the taxi and an additional $1 per mile. Write an equation where M is the miles and T is the total. The total is based on the $6 fee plus the $1 per mile. You might also see it written as M plus 6 equals T. The total is dependent and the miles are independent. We want less than 6 miles. For 0 miles, there's that flat fee of 6, and then it's 1 more per mile. So to count up to get 11, we might be able to count by 2s. That first point, 0, is at 6. Then we're at 1, 7, which is between 6 and 8. 2, 8. 3, 9. 4, 10. And 5, 11. Number 3. Anna started with $10. She saved an additional $5 each week. Write an equation that can be used to determine the total amount saved in dollars after a given number of weeks. Weeks is our dependent variable, and the total is weeks are independent, and total is dependent. So she starts with $5 and she starts with $10 and she adds 5 each week. So for 0 weeks, she already has that $10 that she started with. Then each week that goes by, she gets an extra 5 saved. So we can count by twos on the x-axis, but to get to 50 on the y-axis, we're probably going to want to count by like tens. Okay, at week 0, she starts with $10. So we go to 0 and up to 10. At week 1, which is in between 0 and 2, she's going to be in between 10 and 20. At week 2, she has $20. At week 3, which is in between 2 and 4, she has 25. And then sketch your line through all the points.